Hi, I'm Daphney, and I own a company called Fern Connections. So you went on your first date, so now what happens, right? Let's talk about when the date goes well and when the date doesn't, and then what you do, right? So let's say you go on a first date. The date is good. So what do? You say to the person, I'm really enjoying this day, right? Now let me just tell y'all a secret. You want to read the room. Make sure the other person feels the same way that you feel. They're enjoying the date just like you are. So, if you're enjoying the date, you're having a good time, tell the person, I'm really having fun. This is a really good day, one of my best ever, whatever that is, right? Tell them that you're really enjoying the date. And let me just say, by the time you get to the end of the date, or a little bit before you get to the end of the date, if you want to go on a second date, just ask them. Don't play games. Just say, I've really had a great time. I hope you have too. Wait for their response, honey. And when they respond, yes, this has been one of my most favorite days or one of my best dates, whatever that is, you ask them out again. You ask them out on a second date. And then when you do this second date, don't wait a week. Try to get them to commit to a date within the same week or later that week, right? Unless they have some things going on that they can't, with their schedule that they can't change. But other than that, go ahead and get this second date out of the way and plan something fun. Just don't do a dinner date. Dinner dates are okay, but there's so much more to do when it comes to dating, right? And so plan something interesting. But a big thing too, unless you're in this hetero world, honey, ask them what they would like to do. What are you interested in? Is there something that you've always wanted to do on a date? And then do that if you can, because that shows that you're interested in the person, right? So you've gone on this date, you plan a second date. Between the first date and planning the second date, do you text the person? Do you call the person? Do you stay in contact with the person? Do you confirm that the date is still on and that they're still available? All of the above, honey. You need to make sure that you stay in contact with this person so that they know you're interested. You don't need to okay, we already decided we're going to go on a second date. I'll let you know when. No, you need to stay in contact with the person. I'm not saying that you need to text them every day or whatever, or day and night. But what I'm saying is that you do need to be in contact with them so that they know you're interested and so that they know you're serious about this second date coming up, right? So yes, text, that's always polite. Don't make it a whole story, honey, a whole movie. Just make it something simple. Hey, how you doing? I just wanted to make sure you're good. If you want to talk later, talk on the phone, right? Do a FaceTime. Don't just sit around texting people all day, okay? So yes, you want to stay in contact until the second date. So let's talk about when the date doesn't go well. This is when you really have to read the room, right? So you're having a good time, or maybe you're not having a great time and the date is just going, and it's you're not really sure if this is good or bad, if they're feeling you, not feeling you, and you're having to do too much work to get them to talk. That's when I say you got to read the room. Because if you're doing too much work to get them to be engaged, maybe they're just there for the dinner and maybe they're not there for the long time. You know what I mean? It's I'm just here for the good time, not the long time, honey. So they could have just showed up because you said, I'd like to take you out on a date. And they thought, okay, why not, right? And that's where I say, truly, read the room, see if the person is really interested. And let me just say to y'all, if the person doesn't seem to be communicative, if there's no back and forth banter, if they're not asking you questions, honey, they're probably not that interested. They're probably not that into you. So do yourself a favor, right? Don't ask them out on a second date, right? There's too many people out there for you to be asking out people who really aren't into you, right? So don't ask them out again. Just let the date end, on a good note, and say your goodbyes and say it was oh, nice to meet you, whatever it was, right? And leave it at that. So, and then you could start looking for someone else to go on a date with, in the meantime and in between time, instead of trying to wait around to see if this person is interested. Whew, they're not interested. Okay, if they were interested, you would know it. You wouldn't have to ask. You wouldn't have to think about it. You wouldn't have to like try to figure it all out, because they would tell you, I like this date, it's going well, I'd like to do this again. And I'm telling you, this has nothing to do with, whether or not you're straight or queer or whatever that is, honey. What it has to do with is that I like you, I'm interested in you, I want to get to know you more. And you can feel that vibe from people. And let me tell you, okay, listen to me. If you don't feel that vibe from people, then keep moving, honey, because you want someone who wants to be with you. You want to go on dates with people who like you, who are interested in you. You don't want people going on dates with you that are just tolerating you because they get a free meal or a free ride or whatever that is. You want to go on dates with people who are interested in you and that you're interested in. Okay, so I'm just going to stop here because, people are always wondering, like, what do I do after a first date? Do I call the person? Do I text the person? Do I invite them out again? You can do a lot of those things, but, don't just wait until, you leave the date. Try to have some of those conversations before you leave the date, and then the first date, right? And then the other thing is make sure that you're telling people that you're enjoying the date, you're having a good time, and you'd like to get to know them more. There is nothing wrong with that. And we gotta stop playing these games with people, honey. People shouldn't be having to figure it all out. This is not like, where's Waldo? You gotta figure out where the heck is Waldo. No, you don't need to be figuring out where the heck is this going in my dating life when there's too many other people out there to date, right? So I'm just gonna stop there and say, if you're not sure, we do a lot of date coaching, right? We do a lot of planning of dates for people. We can help you with that. But in the meantime, in between time, read the room, people.